I'd like to do a little update on the Taylormade R11. I actually got one myself about a month ago and have been using it in competition. Seriously, it's the best driver I've ever had. And there's a couple of reasons for that. I'll go into that in a minute, but also I want to talk about one of the, going on from what we said last time about being able to change these independently. Let's talk a little bit about custom fitting. I actually went and I had myself looked at on a proper computer, launch monitor, etc. And it actually recommended the shaft that's in here, which is a special one of the TP shafts. It's a fantastic shaft. I love the shaft. It's perfect. But it recommended I was in a lot more loft than I usually use. So this was actually a 10.5 head. You might be able to make that out. It's 10.5 degrees, special stiff shaft. But they actually recommended I put it up to 11. I've never been in anything like that, so it was a big surprise to me when I got measured for that. As soon as I used it, I knew it was, well, it just wasn't right. That's miles too high for me. So using this, of course, I can knock it straight down. That is now set at 9.5, which is what I've always used, and the flight is absolutely perfect. Which says two things. Firstly, custom fitting isn't always perfect. The computers are trying to read certain things. They're trying to read the spin rates, etc. But what the computer recommends and believes is right isn't necessarily what you want. So custom fitting is very much about being able to change the club to how to get the ball to fly how you would like it to fly, not necessarily how a computer says it should and therefore getting the maximum roll, etc. I was getting no roll out at all 11. With this I hit it another 30 yards, so it really is that good. The great thing about the club is, of course, didn't matter, I can change it. But there is a couple of little things, and this is an insider's view on this club, which is really important. You won't know this until you've actually used it. In the 10.5 head, if you leave it at 10.5 or put it up to 11, I want the face set at neutral. If you turn it down to 9.5, I can actually close it and it looks perfect. Now I couldn't do that at 10.5. It looked wrong. So it actually changes slightly how the club sits, which is something that you won't know until you actually get it. I've got this set with a C there, which means it is closed. But it actually looks perfectly square to me, absolutely beautiful look. So it's interesting to see how the club changes slightly when you change the loft with relation to the club face. It does make a tiny bit of difference, and therefore with this club you can really change it in tiny little bits to get it just how you want it, which is all important. I didn't like the look of it at 10.5 with the face closed. I had to have it neutral. With this one, I've got it closed. It absolutely looks bang on. It is different. There's no doubt about that. So that is now my favourite club in the bag. It is perfect. Absolutely love it. One other thing I wanted to say. You may not realise until you actually get one of these just how effective the white head is. You put it on the ground, it looks bigger, but more importantly, the black face with the white head really gives you a beautiful top line. You sit behind the ball and it just looks perfect. The black face makes it very stark. That's probably the nicest thing about it. When it sits behind the ball, it really is the best looking club I've ever used. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more information. This is quite seriously the best club I've ever used. I'm not going to give this one away for a little while. So if you get into one, hope you enjoy it.